Let it despawn. And I think people have to die. Just to speed this up.
It was bound to happen.
Come on, guys. It had to happen at least once.
At least once. It wouldn't be seen done without that.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, now we know. Can we res again or no?
Yeah, I can pop myself
Yeah,
in a second.
just slow down.
Just checking, just checking. We're resing
Yeah, so-
here, chill.
So when you're crossing to the other side, hug the left wall here.
I didn't have that on stream, unfortunately. It was off.
I think I did.
Now you respect my nature.
Holy shit, you're not wrong, dude. How the fuck did I get hit for that much damage?
So it doubles. Every time it chains, it doubles.
Holy shit.
The amount of damage I got hit for is insane.
Mine was only 171k.
I hit for $1 billion.
I got hit for 2 billion.
I got 10 million.
This
What
is
is that?
362 million.
Wow.
That's a lot.
I can't read this number, but it's at least big on two.
That means it's probably over 2,000.
Hey Schmooze. Hey Galadon, nothing against you. Hey Galadon, nothing against you, but we want to put Schmoozeby in a key role here, so I'm going to have him as the lead on Group 8, and you'll be the backup DPS in Group 3. I'm going to kick you real quick to move. We've been playing with Schmoozeby for 2 years. He deserves a key role here.
I like seeing my red numbers, so. Gives me another chance to see.
Pancakes.
Yeah, whatever group you're in, that's who you move with. I moved some of you guys for comp. We wanted to put the tanks in new spots.
We're rising slowly.
I wish we had DKP.
50? That's a lot more than 50 there, bud.
50.
Moonkin, I feel like you'd be permanently negative DKP your whole life, bro.
Oh, if we want to play the contributing game, dude, I'd be like plus like 9,000 KP.
Then every time you get summoned, you lose DKP.
Yeah, Moonkin.
Dude, that's my only downfall. A lot of summons.
Posting DPS heals. Posting heals after one trash pack in like DPRS. Nice shot, buddy.
Hey, so one change I might want to make is the tank groups on the sides and first ones. Maybe we make sure we have 2 healers, and because they're also going to be picking up heavy trash later on. So 4, 5, 1, and 8 maybe have double healers.
Suzuka hit for 2 billion. Damn.
Yeah, he really didn't like me.
Thank you, Galadon. So 4, 5, 1, and 8. Alright, let me get redundant. I'm going to have to move someone. I'm going to kick KGT real quick.
Oh, nice. I took the durability on my NR gear.
Oh, Susan, hit RTU right after me. See, Pancakes dies, and then you got hit next. So it went from 1 billion to 2 billion.
Should you try to have a paladin in all the tank groups for the aura?
It doesn't stack with Shadow Prot, but the only thing would be beneficial is the Devo.
Then if you have a paladin and 2 healers, you won't have a DPS and
A paladin
well,
being one of the healers.
yeah, you won't have enough ranged and DPS, but yeah, I see what you're saying. I'll make sure I do that.
favor the walks.
4, 5, 1, and 8.
Will definitely help you make.
Still has a whole baggage truck. Double to me. Left side. Hey, General, would you not do?
Hey guys, if we're never done with doing kills a guild, I want you to know it's great rating you guys.
Alright, so healing
Yes,
groups.
my favorite guild.
Alright, so tank groups are 1, 8, 4, and 5. If you look at the raid thing right now.
Hey, if anyone whispers me, you guys are gonna abandon me.
We always end up summoning anyway. Don't worry about it.
So guys, let's really focus on getting in there like as fast as we can. There's one super like
Everyone check your groups again. If you have been moved.
And Furies,
Check your groups.
I think Furies, I think we want you sword and boarding. Do we want to put all of our Furies tanking
No.
the mob right in front, or do you put it? Can you put rogues on the little eyes?
No, the little eyes don't hit for anything. They just do the mind flip.
Okay. And initially on phase 1, do we want to have people consistently on the eye? Like everyone moves up. See how the yellow dots in phase on that graphic, they have yellow dots that are within the red.
I think that's just
DPS on him.
yeah.
Say that again.
So you
during
just
the eye beam, you can attack and then move
Yeah.
slow enough. You can sit there and melee.
so you basically the guys in the front, you just go back and forth between the spawns and Cthon in phase 1.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you just have to be ready to be back in your position when this thing stops.
There's a timer for it. It's called Tentacle Rate Party.
Actually, you're right. You have to use it.
And lots of people need NR pot. It's definitely worth it on the whole.
Alright, let's get another attempt in. Make sure everyone has their buffs. Remember, don't fuck it up and run in front of the walkway. Make sure you're on the right side. So odds are on the left side, evens are on the... Ah, Jesus, we got... Christ.
Saw that. Why would you do
Who did it?
Fuck.
Both groups.
Yeah, someone died on the far left.
oh my
Okay,
god.
stop fucking around here, guys.
Yeah, what the fuck was that? You like did it on purpose or something?
Wasting our time here.
Do I need to die?
Was it?
I'm not sure if I've gotten out or not.
I can't.
Oh,
like,
no.
I
Yeah,
don't
I'm
know
gonna die
exactly
over here.
what, to be honest.
You can't stand too close to the like entrance. You need to scoot right and
Yeah.
shoot left.
But like,
So-
did we just fucking learn that?
I want to talk about something else. The claw guys, they do a hamstring on whoever they're hitting. So it makes it that much harder for people to move around. The claw tentacles.
Yeah,
Very fast.
it seemed like there we got a ton.
I'm
of
trying to
claw
die.
really quickly on our first attempt.
You guys gonna fuck it up like that before we use all our controls?
Yeah, really. Just been fucking.
People just need to chill the fuck out and settle down. Like, that's... Once was kind of funny. Now it's becoming a problem, so don't let it happen again.
We have soul stones.
Yes.
Yeah,
Number
that's
2,
it.
just wait for the tentacles to spawn.
Dude, there's like 80,000
Everyone got
Dude, you're leader right now, just so you know, if you want to make Lona assistant group 6.
you can follow them. Pumpkin, where are you?
Dude, I'm in a...
Don't, yeah, it's still live.
DI. He's waiting for the tentacles to spawn.
What do you even do? Just take it off and kill
There's
myself?
more of them having
Just gotta wait for the tentacles to despawn.
I don't mind if it's faster. Just take it off and kill myself.
It's on Umkin. Do we have someone else who can res?
I'm got an SS and I'm not popping it.
So you just want me to die then?
Yeah, it's clearly targeting you, so yeah, Umkin has to die. You gotta have target of target set up, and you'll know when you need to do that.
Just decided to die.
we good?
Give it a second. I think I don't see anything else. Yeah, everything's despawned.
If I die.
All right, we have an hour left on the raid night, so let's get another attempt in.
Yeah, by the way, next person that does that is gonna get raid banned for a week. I'm being serious, by the way. If it happens, like, why you try to move to the other side on accident, that's cool. But if you're like jumping around autistically like that and you do that, then that's a problem. So let's focus on that. Stop wiping the whole raid.
Yeah, like we're clearly getting punished by a single person in the raid moving out of position. That's what this whole thing's about. So. Alright, everyone's learned their lesson twice. Be nice and calm. Let's just try to meditate here for the next 2 minutes while we res everyone. Dude has leader, by the way. It switched to him when I tried to give Alona leader.
What?
Dude, legit, I thought I was watching the video when that happened, because I clicked to start your video that you posted. And dude, it literally, I shit you not, the second the guy pulled it, it happened to us. Yeah, I thought I was watching, like, widescreen fucking the video.
Dude, I linked it because I didn't think it would happen again, bro.
Yeah, dude, this shit was...
Alright, just be careful of resing and shit.
We should start even farther away then if we're having trouble with people running in too early. Like.
Yeah, everyone hug the back wall. We have no reason
Hey, so
not to be
when does this
on the
door?
back wall.
When does this doorway open up so you can run back and forth?
You have to kill Oro.
You have to kill Oro.
Okay.
I want to see every single person on this back wall. There's no reason to be hugging the front wall, and you guys can't be trusted. So if you're not touching the back wall, you're wrong.
Well, I can see through. Can no one else go through this doorway right now? It's not locked for me.
What doorway are you talking about?
Or like you can run back to the start of the instance real easily. There, the quest givers
that
here.
takes you to
Oh
the-
shit! No, I'm sorry.
the element team stuff.
These guys are new, aren't they? And they're blocked off until Oro.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey Fizzle, can Relics get a summon, please?
Guys, be careful when you res. Do not just move around randomly. Be wary
But
of
yeah, guys,
randos.
let's fucking focus. This is the final boss in the game right now. This shit's not easy, so this will be fun. We've got the general mechanics explained. Now we have to build that muscle memory by executing. We literally need every single person paying attention to what's going on. To recap getting through phase 1 clean, there's times where a melee DPS just doesn't do anything. We only need like 1 melee and 1 or 2 ranged, focused on the little guys that pop up right next to Cthon, the 8 of them. They should die quick, especially if we have full buffs up for it. So we want to avoid clumping. That's why you don't want to have multiple melee on those little things. And then interrupt everything at all times. So all of the point guys for each group, the marked people, you basically interrupt on cooldown, when they're popping up.
It should be like your first global cooldown.
Yeah.
Because you're interrupt and then they should die before they cast it again.
Because you get like a 3-second, or at least warriors do, a 4-second
We all
silence.
group up the buffs. Like everyone get on the back wall.
Relics needs a summon still.
Everyone get on the left side back wall.
Alright, so yeah, very carefully move to the side here. Don't fuck this up, and so
There's
just...
no reason for you to not be hugging the back wall now.
Hey Frankie, what groups am I supposed to buff?
7 and 8.
Third.
Rocky clear. Support the commandment.
Thing we gotta
That's
try,
what I
guys,
think.
is we wanna try to get as many as possible. So just try to do that, just to like, just be ready to go.
We group up for buffs a little.
There's somebody that dude.
Yeah, everyone who's on the odd door side.
ADT, Glowkey, Glow
Alright, we can buff without Alona for now.
Let's get summons over in this group.
Alright, so at this point,
Identical and
I don't want you guys to be
Wrong
blowing
line
all your
summons.
consumes like idiots. Use whatever consumables you're fine with literally evaporating. But I don't want people to go broke right now. We do have flask ticking, so we want to get more attempts in. So until we have pretty good mechanics here on this initial phase, we don't have to take ourselves too seriously when it comes to blowing expensive mongooses and stuff like that. Let's just get some attempts in. We got to work on the mechanics here.
The small NR pop.
Before we start taking ourselves seriously on this fight.
Did we get summons identical in group 1?
Yeah,
2,
it's
and group
it's
7?
another level of coordination that's going to benefit us for as long as we raid together that we need to master right now, and it involves extreme attention to your movement, your positioning, and several mechanics at once, basically on boss stuff. We have to keep our comms clear eventually when we're coordinating killing the interior tentacles.
Is Tuxedos here?
I was running, nobody gave me a summon. I'm almost there anyway now at this point.
Just please ask for summons again. These, it takes longer for you to run back than it does for you to ask twice for a summon. Come on.
There's a lot.
Yeah,
going
that's
on
what I
right
was
now.
thinking.
There's a lot to pay attention to.
Night hero here. Yes, Night Hero's here.
Yep. Check my raid warning if you downloaded the CTW. You have to turn it on. Just type /CTW. And then to move it, it's that space unlock. Or CTW space lock.
If you downloaded the one I linked, you can just drag it.
Is threat an issue for these melee guys in the
No.
other group? Should they be
There is no
having
threat.
salvation?
It's just
There's
nuke.
no,
It's
no threat in the entire thing.
yeah.
Okay.
Watching on Fury Warriors just destroying on gate.
Yeah.
Threat figures.
It's just all out at all times. And our prot warriors or our main tank should be able to hold threat on the big guys.
Better be ready to silence and cancel everybody.
Yeah, it's constant interrupts. Alright, let's get general buffs up in terms of class buffs. Kings on rogues.
Everyone pay attention to your group. We did change groups around, so that means if you move groups, you might have a different position than you were originally assigned to. You should be comparing your group to the image link in Discord, and you should already know exactly where you're running when you walk in. Not only should you know where your group is located, but then you should know your location within the group. You're either in the front if you're the melee, or you're in the back left, back right, middle left, or middle right, depending on where you are within the group.
So if everybody looks where Blah is right now, or how do you say his name? BLUA. Don't go any closer to the door than where he's at. Like, don't go any further. Like
Yeah,
that
this is
hunter
fine.
that's doing that right now, don't do that.
You mean the one who's initially gonna pull in?
Yeah,
Oh,
but
we're all running.
Alright, so but yeah, we get the picture. So everyone's got their buffs. Let's very carefully have everyone move to the odds move to the left side. Gotta run into the wall, move all the way over.
there you go.
If you're not hugging the wall, you're probably fucking up. There's no reason not to be hugging the wall.
And overdo it
So
as
no,
you
when
approach
Last
on the
turns
other
that
side.
corner, is there a chance that we all get chain lightning like immediately?
No, we have to let it go off. The second that you see the animation go off, you can run up. But
Yeah,
you
just like turn your camera so you can see it, and as soon as the hunter gets hit with that green beam, you just run in and go to your spot.
and you can also, I believe, be 10 yards. I don't think it'll go longer than 10
Yep, it's 8 yards.
or 8, whatever it is. So once he's out of your CT raid warning, you technically can follow him. But we like for it to go off so it definitely hits him. No one else even has a chance of getting hit because there's one random person. So if we run in before it goes off, it would potentially hit someone behind us and chain. So you have to wait until the animation goes off, then run in immediately and spread out as fast as you can. Everyone knows where they're running.
Right to your spot. All at the same time.
Odds run in and head to the left sides. The other side goes to the right sides. Alright, let's get this in. Alright, everyone pile up on your marks very tight. Do not move, no spazzes. Just hug the wall and pile up on the marks as closely as we can get them. Alright. Everyone looks ready on our side? Does right look good? Is Boss Deeps ready?
Right, let's do
You can right side clump up a little bit more on the shapes.
everybody on skull.
Don't overdo it. Just stand right up against the fucking wall. Everyone clump on skull. Laz knows what he's doing. Alright. Let's get ready to pull. 5-second warning. Laz is pulling in 3, 2, 1. Only Laz goes. Go ahead. No one else moves. Wait until the animation. Go. And spread. We got hit on the left, so we didn't spread fast enough. So that was a huge chain on the left side. So there should be an audible beep with my add-on. It's constantly telling you you're too far in. So we just have to do it.
I think we should do one group at a time.
Yeah, I think we just need to do.
I don't think you can.
You just have to move in more scattered, I think.
If we do 2 groups at a time and somebody immediately calls out when they get the chain lightning, then we can just call out for the next 2 groups to go.
But,
So
like,
if we,
you can change people who are standing where we pull.
Like, see
You
right
did
now
it
what
last time.
Skullblazer is? Like,
oh,
when
he
there's
can.
a video.
Oh, the chain lightning is a random person.
Yeah.
He can
Just to
do
go
it.
fast.
You have to
Don't
wait until it goes
like,
off.
Exactly 10 yards behind Laz.
Everybody see
We're too
what
far behind him.
Skullblazer is right there?
Well, wait, but if you stay within 10 yards from Laz, he gets too far up there, and he has to eat the chain lightning, so he can be the only one that can get hit by it. You can't run in behind him until the chain lightning goes off.
Yeah, you just wait for me to call it.
We all saw it and ran in.
Yeah, that wasn't an issue.
We did our position
It was the
check,
second
and we
chain
waited
lightning.
for the next one.
It was the second one, yeah.
So my friend told me from Scuba Cops, he said, don't run in one group at a time, doesn't work. Gotta have Pro run in and out really fast in the doorway to take the first 2 beams. Then everyone runs in a straight line. Whoever gets the 3rd beam runs to the outer edge of the room. Then everyone spread out to your spots.
Wait,
So,
what? What did they do?
Copy and paste it.
Yeah, go ahead.
So he said the same thing to me. Yeah, Pro's gonna eat the first 2 beams and fake it, essentially fake it out, and then
Okay.
whoever he's targeting, you'll see target of target. Whoever he's targeting for the 3rd beam has to
Stays.
stay on the outside of the room.
I see.
Then everyone else can run in.
So,
Do their thing.
a good guideline of that, you can have the first person take it and then run toward the NPCs. Get the second one and then go in.
Does that work?
NPCs are way out of the way.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
We
They're
can
off
do
to the
it.
side.
That's
So,
simple enough.
I like what
the
it's
first
simple enough. Yeah, I can.
chain lightning always gets the second chain lightning as well.
Do I just
No, I
stand
didn't
out
get
there?
it 2 in a row last time because you guys ran in.
Well, that's the idea. No. Here's so listen. I'm the only one that's on his table because I'm the only one out there, and I think as long
Why
as
are
you're.
we saying Pro and not Last Marana? I'm just curious.
let's just do last.
Like, it can be anyone.
Well, it's the main take because I'm juiced and it doesn't do too much more damage to me without nature resist.
Yeah, but
like-
Last Marana can have full nature resist and then just.
All right, I'm down to try that, but it's just less of a health pool. All
The
right.
person doesn't matter. Just,
Yeah.
You have to suck up
And
the
you
2
just
beams.
step out and stand there and wait 2, and no one stands near you, and then whichever the target of targets shifts to after that, that person stays. Everyone else runs in as soon as that second, or as we identify who that person is.
Ooh, I like that.
So last steps out, beam 1, you stand there, you continue to stand there, beam 2, and then as soon as we see target of target shift after beam 2, we know who stands and everyone else runs in. So you can pretty much right after beam 2. Sorry, go ahead.
Will a target shift if no one else is in the room?
I think that's the way that was
Yeah,
explained.
We're all going to be on his aggro table as soon as he aggroes one of us, I believe.
Okay, that's fine. And then whoever gets aggro or targeted, they run off to the side, like way out of the way.
Did we have reses going up?
Nope.
Okay.
We can't face him there.
Sorry, I was distracted. Yeah, but yeah. So I don't know this for sure. I'm basing this off what we just got told, but I'm assuming he'll shift target of target to who he's about to I-beam.
I feel like though when we run in, we can like spread out more towards the middle, like get the other
Yeah,
person to
towards the eye.
like that black part. You can step in that, like the videos I've seen, melee running through that, they're really good kind of standing around it, and they're like punching the boss, and then pretending to spawn and killing it.
Yeah, Zanzibuff's gonna be nice to having the future attempts on this.
Friendly reminder that Run Speed Boot is the best champion in
except if you're a tank.
7 agility
Especially if you're a tank. You're a tank, sure.
So right now I have +3 defense on my boots, so it doesn't count. But when I had stamina on them, multiple times I recall living on fights like Broodlord with less than 60, 70 HP. So
I mean, if
it's hard to quantify.
it's like, that shouldn't be the difference between life and
It shouldn't be, but it is sometimes. But yeah, no, I agree. Move speed's fucking huge. I have defense on boots because it's the only way I get to defense cap right now because the way my talents are structured. Yeah, riding sights should be turned off the moment you step into AQ. But everyone should know that.
So following the run-in, once everybody gets their general position, try not to move too much so that everybody can get their spot before the I-beam comes out.
Yeah. It's crucial that you don't stack up.
It's after like 45 seconds maybe the I-beam starts.
And I want to get us some more attempts in here, but I also, we do have other bosses we can kill and get loot from, so I'm not going to make us beat our head over this for the remainder of the entire night. I want to get some quality looks at Cthon, and we can go get on Uro or Fastidious.
Just Cthon does not respond, is that
Correct. So we could attempt this on Sunday if we're lucky.
Oro's got some sick loot, and Dustin saw a priest helmet.
Yeah.
DIS,
I'm not against... Hey, so I'm not against forming more groups either. Ideally Sunday would be the best night to try and get back in here, but it would be sketch, and it's going to be very low likelihood of kill because it's going to be a lot of new people. But it would help over half of us continue to get practice. It's important. Yeah, that would be a huge Sunday.
Rip all the people who went to Oro.
Don't get your hopes up for John DeBlar.
Wow.
That's
Yeah,
usually
I've seen
melee
that drop
DPS right?
once total over multiple servers and retail and all
I have
kinds of
seen it
stuff.
on like 10 people already here.
Have you really?
Yeah, there's a hunter and Scottish.
There's 2 rogues who have it as well.
That's sick then, man. That's a fun trinket.
That's crazy. I like the kill video where you can see what we just talked about. It's just like the first 5 seconds of the video.
So what they do is they just have someone, they have someone
So
tank
the first two, and then everybody's in by the time the third one goes off, and just hits somebody like way behind their head.
Yeah, that's why I thought that. That's good.
Yep. Bike and R, dude, I was trying to figure out what the fuck you were typing in our group, and dude, genius. I love it.
So here's what we're going to do. We're going to let Laz eat the first 2. You can heal him off to the side, safe, far away, I believe. I think you can. I'm not sure there. And then as soon as the animation for the second lightning goes off, everyone starts running in. And then everyone who has target of target, hopefully the entire raid, but I'll make sure to be calling out whoever it ends up being. We'll call someone's name. And if you don't have TOT to set up properly to know, we'll call your name and you do not run in. You separate yourself from the rest of the raid. You immediately try to get 8, 10 feet away from anybody that's friendly.
So as everyone runs in,
We're not all back yet.
Just run back where you came from.
I'm still running back with Deniglen. We're not all back yet. Wait on buffs.
Someone's on Provozer and Dynagrin. Good point.
Yeah, if you're not in the group right now, with the raid where we're ready to start, go ahead and put a plus sign in raid chat and your group number if you can help it.
Put this summon KGT here. Let's get summons up. We will need to summon.
Be careful auto writing when you accept a summon. Or running forward, I should say. Thank you for the summon.
Let's get the summon on Gopi Group 5.
Alright, let's we just gotta work on the entering the room. Stop doing your buffs, basically. Like, let's get everyone in here, full mana, and all the easy buffs up that don't cost anything, and let's get an attempt in immediately. So yeah, this is just as much a practice for us in reforming after a wipe, which we need, as it is the mechanics of this.
Janet in Group 1. Still needs a summon. Second person I asked for. Come on, guys.
And so yeah, if you guys want to come observe, Ulthric, stay where you're standing. You're sitting drinking. Come look at Pro and Ulthric. Circle and star. We're standing with the proper distances if you want to visualize it. Like, that's the minimum distance you can stand close to each other. So it's just imperative that we space out like a lot. But you only have so big of a room to deal with, so that at times people are literally have their back against the wall in the back, even melee. It's about controlling that chain lightning as different mechanics come at you.
Towards the back of the room, also, like opposite of where we run in, there's a ton of room back by the stairs and stuff, so casters back there, spread out really nicely in the melee. Make sure you get as far like back as you can,
Tank should not be marked for phase 1. We need the melee that's in on the eye and interrupting the eyes marked.
Yeah, that's what I have.
I see exacerbate marked when it should be Loki.
Loki, Bluey, Blue Attain, Schmoozeby, Mad, Relics. What do we have a skull out?
Y'all get what you want, and you're gonna like it.
Yeah. Alright, Canadian skull.
Alright, let's get moving. We don't have time on
Alright, we got it. Everyone safely move to your side. Very careful movement here before we pull. Please, let's get some quality attempts in. We gotta focus on spacing. So to reiterate the strategy here is we're gonna have Laz tanking the first 2 charges. So do nothing after he steps out and tanks the first one, and make sure, Laz, you gotta be. I guess you gotta step up there. Do we not heal you? Do we need to change our?
Dude, I don't take any damage.
All right, so we don't heal you, and you gotta move more than 10 yards away from us when you step into the room. And then he tanks the second one. As soon as the second one goes off, we all run in. And then we need to look at target of target to identify who not only doesn't run in, but actually runs away, far away from everybody else. Back here. Isolate yourself. Back here, basically. So
yeah, you just run back where you came from.
Everyone has to have...
You're going to be that close to the doorway. Last Marn is going to be in the doorway, so you should be 10 yards from it.
He's going to step in. He doesn't need heals.
He's going to be right in front of him eating the second beat.
Yeah.
That's what gives us time to position and the third person run out. So run in after the first beat.
He doesn't need heals because he's nature capped, so he can step into the room without a healer, and we don't have to worry about backing up. We can be right behind this line of sight break before we run in. I think, at least, with this strat. Alright, let's get ready to do this. That's fine, we're going to do it without Galadon. We got to get attempts in here. Can't wait for one person.
Yeah, let's give it a shot.
Alright, so Laz tanking 2. Everyone will target Sethan, watch the target of target, and that'll tell us who we need to have stay. We'll try to yell their name. Be ready to not run in. Everyone knows where they're going. Pulling in 5 seconds. Laz, go ahead. Pulling in 3. Or Laz, you count it down. You're the one going.
3, 2, 1.
So do nothing. Let the first one go off. Do nothing after. Alright, wait until the second. No, we're waiting until the second, I thought. Okay, go now. Rehab.
Man, you guys are fun. We're really not. If you watch the videos, you're running after the first beat.
Okay, Jesus.
Last round of video, you have to continue running.
I thought I literally just said for 5 minutes that we were waiting for until the second beam. Like, correct me then. Alright.
I did. I literally just said it.
Okay. Watch literally the first 5 seconds of the video that I posted. It's like super clear when you can see it. You can watch System's target to target, yeah. And Laz just sprints straight at him.
Probably watch that video before we attempt to see it.
You guys
just fucking with me tonight, dude. Is this some kind of joke? Am I being fun?
Yo, that video makes it look so fucking easy.
Yeah, it does.
Focus on hurry, make it good on you.
Alright.
Alright.
Everyone who is inside the room, run. Everyone
Very
that's
deep res, but we have a DI
in
we
the
can
door probably can be raised.
Alright, let's hurry up. Literally, we just need to get in and get full health and mana and practice getting into the room. So.
DI doesn't work. Those are all targeting holes right now.
So in the video, the guy at the very back of the raid is probably by himself. He gets targeted. Is there a reason why he's at the back, or did he stay behind?
No, random.
It's random. So the first two you can control, but whoever the third is, you just have to react and get away from everyone.
How much time do you have to react?
Not long. Maybe four
Weird.
seconds.
You run away.
They don't chain them. It's like, yeah, it's every 4 seconds or something. It feels. Do the first two come out faster than the rest?
It looked like it, yeah, because it looks like if anybody else in that raid got targeted, they would have wiped. So why some, I don't know.
It's a spacing thing. The hunter is the closest to Cthulhu, so
Yeah,
it's
I
not
see
going to chain to anybody. So basically, as soon as the first one goes off, literally about half a second later, everyone is running in.
Yep.
The thing is, Laz has to keep running towards the boss so it doesn't chain.
I gotcha.
You gotta realize, I was running towards it. I get demounted as soon as I get hit.
Yeah, no, you were good. It wasn't your fault. It was hesitation. No, sorry. You were perfectly fine. It was hesitation on partially caused by me. So.
Just watch the video.
Yeah. So everyone runs in as soon as the first one goes off.
Like 10 minutes till we get there. Just watch a video right now. Just watch the first 10 seconds.
Literally 5
Alright.
seconds.
The fight properly explained is a soaker runs in, eats the first one, everyone immediately starts running in, the soaker keeps running towards the eye and eats the second one. By then, it'll shift target of target to somebody randomly, anybody who's in the room near the eye. And whoever that person is has to react, move away from everybody. That's it. And then you settle into position.
What happens is, after the second lightning, within a quarter of a second, it'll target somebody else. That's what it says.
Yep, target.
I'll do the
Yeah,
reader.
watch
You
it.
have reader. Please remove Galaxy.
Yeah, it was super simple with target of target. Like
The person who is targeted third doesn't really have time to react and get themselves far away.
Yeah.
Switches target while everybody else is mounted running, and that person immediately stops, and everybody outranges him by the time he gets the cast off.
Yeah.
He's able to turn around and start running back. But
yeah, Rehab got pretty far away.
Yeah, that wasn't the problem, I think.
But nobody was moving.
Yeah.
So everybody was in a really
Yeah, exactly. If we would have ran in, that would have been a good intro, I think. But it's good. We're just going to get full health and practice it again, literally. Like, fuck buffs. We're just going to literally run in, get stats up, and run in, and try to survive as long as we can.
They stay really close together, too.
Oh, they spread good though.
No, afterwards, yeah, but when they first run in, you can see them kind of clump for a second. Maybe it's that
It's because everyone's, like, perfectly on top of each other in terms of entering the room at the same time, because they're reacting good.
Like stop and like stay in position.
Yeah.
Just need one person to call when everybody's supposed to go in so that we can all be on time.
Just listen for my voice. It'll guide you to the promised land of getting through the entrance phase.
I love how we barely even started this fight.
Once we get in there, you gotta start spreading immediately. Watch your shit. You should have to run in these spots.
Yeah. Everyone who's done this tells you that getting into the room safe is one of the hardest parts about it, so...
Definitely. On the bright side on that attempt, the right side melee was positioned perfectly.
Got guys.
Did it.
Howdy.
Half of the raid was taken into with all the other one.
Yep.
Okay, so Laz will be calling everything. You get inside.
Yes, sir.
Cool. And everybody else, clear comms to the only person talking to us.
Yep, nobody should have to call anything out. It's all personal getting your position.
Yeah, I admit I'm pretty tired. I'm sorry, but I thought before that last one that I had reiterated like a dozen times with no objections that we were waiting for the second one to move in. So
I didn't really hear any objections either until
that's
like
my
the
fault.
last second.
This is
That's
progression.
clearly not what is intended. So basically, I think he decides who he's doing the lightning to and sticks to it right after he casts the first one, so you have time to react. And I think it also has something to do with how close, maybe, or something, because it seems to always go to the hunter the second time as long as he's running at it.
No.
So you think first one is closest person, second one is closest person.
First one is first one, maybe that first one is first one he aggro's probably, and then as soon as it goes off, he picks the next one, and it seems like it's always hitting the hunter the second time. It's the third one that we have to worry about.
But the third one, he's already told us who he's going to choose.
Because he's exactly. Because he's as soon as the second one goes off, he switches target of target, and that's who the third target's going to be, and it sticks. Like it doesn't jump around.
Okay, make sure everyone understands that, because that's important. As
What he does is he targets somebody and then stares at him and blinks for
Exactly.
like 6 seconds, and then he casts it.
Yeah, and it seems like the first two go off a little closer together, maybe, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I could be wrong there.
How much damage does the first one do without nature?
It hits for like 3k or so.
So yeah, so yeah, a tank can do it, but without a healer behind him, it's probably I like the Nature's Risk Cap Hunter. That seems easy.
Yeah, that's nice.
No, I'm just thinking, will someone survive if they're by themselves and get hit like properly? If everything's executed perfectly, will they survive?
Yes.
Even if they don't this attempt, they will with a pot.
So also when we're running in, if you're like a caster, you should try to stay closer to the wall. Melee should get closer to the middle and just kind of fan out, you know? Like if you know that you're the middle position, try to stay in the middle. If you know that you're the wall position, try to stay near the wall.
Everyone should have their position within their group. So again, you're either front if you're the melee, or you're mid left, mid right, back left, or back right. If you haven't coordinated that already, do that now.
Usually we should go to Wilson. And run around with the tornado inside the dragon.
I have never watched a single episode of
Dude,
anime in my life.
spoilers, man. Come on.
Bro, go watch some Full Metal Alchemist right now.
Alright, everyone please don't fuck up once you enter the room. Get ready for this.
Yeah, our goal tonight is to get the entrance, like, successful.
We need to have, get the fundamentals of entering the room down, and then we can work on the rest.
Raise up the selectors. Everyone.
But yeah, it's also, I mean, I know it's hard, it's the end of the night, but we get more attempts in if everyone just quickly gets on your mount, rides all the way back here, does this over and over again.
Alright, we should be drinking and ready to go.
Can we get Boss Deeps, Wallenby, Vlad, Exacerbate?
Buff whatever you can.
No, I just want to practice entering the room. Don't even do other buffs, honestly. Throw some buffs on Laz so he stays along. Yeah, throw some stam buffs up and let's go. I think all the marks are still up. Once everyone's rezzed, we'll make sure.
Well, we're gonna have to summon Vlad when he gets inside. I res him, he spawned outside.
Alright, who was that one then?
Wow.
Come on, guys.
Did that.
I'm not sure. Someone on the right
Because
side.
you rezzed him in the doorway, and that 0.002 seconds you're alive.
Okay.
We have to
So
die.
if you die in the room, you can't be rezzed. It sucks to say, but hey, guess what? You get to fucking use
Yeah,
that
that's
fancy
whoever
mount.
If you
that-
died in the room and you waited for a res, you fucked up.
Yeah, whoever rezzed him, that's not your
Go
fault.
away, Jamal, go.
It's fine.
Whoever's too lazy to run back is...
Do we have
taking
white
that
protection
throw.
here? Does anyone have white protection in this group that died?
Does anyone have a
Yes, I do. If we have to use it, we'll
Alright.
wait.
Yeah, wait until it dies. Let's use it. So everyone, yeah.
Got it. You guys were,
Should I run or should I stay here?
Never have to run. Don't have a light set.
yeah, guys, you know, it happens. Just run back.
Yeah, we're learning a lot about what we can't do.
Guys, I want to suggest doing some dry runnings in the practice area.
That's what this was. I mean, we were about to do it. Yeah, we should have done that earlier. But,
There's in front of the first boss. There's a nice little open area where you can practice like a run-in.
okay.
And Pro, you can be Cthulhu and you can spin around like you're shooting lasers at her.
Dude's got their Ekin blaster. Oh, dude. Why does he get to be Seathun?
Thunder Fury privilege, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, you got Ekin blasting past people. Let.
Alright, hey guys, we're gonna go straight to Oro right now. We're gonna push this off until a later time, mastering Seathun. So we have a chance to get a kill in on another very valuable boss. Tier 2.5 legs, which are huge for some classes, and some other good shit. So this boss is towards the end of that instance. I think most of you know how to get there. So Schmoozeby, do you want to go ahead and take over on the Oro explanation?
This one is one that I have loaned out, so I'm expecting us to get.
Alright. Anyone who's done Oro has a pretty strong understanding of the mechanics want to step up and start talking about it? I'll try to find a link for everyone to
I'll give
read.
it a shot. I'm not certain. I'd assume it's pretty similar here.
That's supposed to
Basically, he's a big worm that jumps out of the ground, and you can attack him for a while, and then he goes underneath the ground, and you can't attack him. When he goes underground, you pretty much have to take a nature pot and move around. Meanwhile, there's a lot of little small ads that you need to. I don't know if you AoE tank them or if you do a fear rotation. There are like small little scarabs that pop up.
Alright, so I'll read
So
through.
it's mainly just staying really spread out and killing
Yeah.
the boss. That's about it.
mechanic of the fight is that when he goes underground, there will be 3 rock piles that will start spurting out of the ground.
Yeah,
You must avoid these at all costs, which means people are moving around quite often. Basically, if you see them near you, you don't want to fight them, as once he hits 30%, these rock piles will be up regardless if he is up or not. If these rock piles, or 3 of them, are on the tank while he's tanking Oro, the tank is immune. There's no way, basically, there's really no way to control the rock pile other than getting the fuck away. It's basically pure max if you guys try.
And when the ads spawn, melee try and get them down. Casters try and save your mana for when the boss is actually up. Melee, you can stay max range if you shoot shitbox, but a couple of people have to be in range of him or he puts
Whoa, what the hell?
What the fuck is that?
What?
A claw tentacle in the middle of the fucking space. Kill it.
I'm in combat.
I'm in combat too.
Somebody down by the room?
You
Was there a DI or something?
No, we didn't have any light protection.
The Bruni. Who got there already?
The beeps. The beeps are so bad. Alright, I'm gonna make everyone do the audio beeping add-on. It's fucking atrocious and I love it.
Yeah, I have it. It's annoying as hell right now.
It gives you a little light. So it just plays a loud beep every time you're standing too close to someone.
He's beeping right now.
Look, these things are coming up. Claw tentacles.
If someone has it on, you can like troll the shit out of them by.
I can't afford to wiping it.
Yeah, seriously.
Dude, I'm out of combat. I'm out of combat.
So just type /CTW to turn it off. We're out.
Died.
No, they killed the tentacle.
Fuck you, Cthulhu.
That's it, we killed him. He's dead.
Loot the tentacle.
It might have been because people around you at the same moment that people drop combat.
If we re-entered before the tentacles despawned,
Yeah,
Ethan's aggro is the entire instance.
probably.
Pretty sure you can even kite him to like Garn, dude. You can take him anywhere.
Be a pretty interesting way to do hard mode.
Nah, dude, you gotta get the guards to help out.
easy move.
I'm saying you could do other bosses with.
I think you can one phase Panther boss in ZG with Seathan.
Probably.
Hey, do you guys call for a white or a rock back on Sicilian again? Like, we shouldn't be talking about some people.
No, we're going to Oro.
No, I'm saying, like, if we do it in future,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like, nobody should get fucking roused.
Yeah, what might be... Yeah, I don't think it's possible. I'm trying to think of a way to get warlocks
okay
over there,
if you
but...
have like some real life thing you have to do, but if you're inside the group,
Over where?
then that's
The
messed
other-
up.
The other thing is, if you have to AFK, you need to tell an officer or your president.
And you
Just
just
it.
log out also.
Just say
Like,
in the
like,
raid chat or something.
log out over AFKing. But I was trying to think of if there's a way to minimize the time to reset after a wipe on Seathan, like if you could... But
I
there's...
mean, if we down Oro, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you go
If
Oro
you
and
kill
then
Oro,
Oro.
there's a teleporter.
Yeah.
I don't think the teleporter's activated yet.
Yeah, because we haven't killed him.
I don't know if it's in-game.
Killed Oro.
No,
I don't
no,
know
it
if
is
it's
in-game.
That sounds like it might be right, but I don't know either.
It
If
didn't
the
get
teleporter
added
doesn't
until,
work,
like,
that's
12.
some baloney, man.
Yeah, the teleporter wasn't added until that.
Really? How are you supposed to get to How are you supposed to get to the Elementium turn-in, dude, then?
Just gotta be God, dude.
You can get to him if you can't use the portal, I guess.
So do we... Yeah, we're prioritizing Oro right now. If we have the numbers or the energy, we can also kill Vasidius, and that's what we're passing right now. At the front.
We have a group in front of Oro's room. If you are far behind, please type in 1, 2, 3 and group and let's get some summons on.
Hey Smoothby, let me follow you while I read out the abilities. So in terms of abilities on Uro, Sweep does a couple thousand damage, physical damage, with an AoE knockback, and also will often temporarily switch aggro to the range group and sandblast the range group. We'll have multiple tanks on Oro. He'll typically swap tanks after a sweep. The tank that got swept, whichever one had aggro when the sweep happens, that gets knocked back, don't go back into melee range. Otherwise, Oro will probably pop back to that guy instantly, and you might not have full health. I'm not sure if that instruction makes sense, but bottom line is multiple tanks swapping here on the boss. Sandblast does about 4k nature damage, front breath 180 degrees, so you can fully resist it. Damage, yeah, so damage is not reduced from resist, it's just a full resist or no, none. It's a binary spell basically. He'll sandblast whoever's top threat, and the sandblast clears threat for that person. So I guess that's another reason for multiple tanks.
Should be tauntable, I think.
It's every 20 to 25 seconds. It has 45-yard range and can easily be outranged. That's Sandblast. The boss, I'm assuming is tauntable. In terms of Submerge, he burrows under the ground. It's untargetable and undamageable. He has a chance to submerge every 1.5 minutes, 90 seconds. He won't submerge if he's casting one of his abilities, Sandblast or Sweep. And he'll also submerge if no melee player is on it. And I think when he pops up, you have about a 10-second window, maybe a little shorter, to get a tank on it.
I want to say pets will stay on him. They'll like follow him.
Yeah, he does 2k physical damage to anyone on top of Oro when he reappears from a submerge. That's negligible. The dirt mounds quake. If you have nature resist, expect 1k nature damage with around 500 resisted. This is done when Oro is submerged. What's the nature resist for this fight? I'm not...
100 for
Yeah, it's when he goes down that everybody takes like constant AoE damage.
Alright, so tanks want to be at cap, and everyone else wants to be at 150, basically.
It's not constant AoE damage. I mean, if you can avoid the mounts, then you don't need any nature resist.
We should put some fucking nature resist on.
Yeah, I'm gonna put on 100.
So the scarabs, they will despawn after 45 seconds. They pick an initial target and will never change targets. They hit for like 300 on cloth and 100 plus on tanks. So it seems like the scarabs, we just have to fear Frost Nova, just every form of CC, and ignore them and just focus Oro down. So regardless of deaths, he's going to resurface with scarabs, and they'll despawn after 45 seconds. So yeah, just chain fears, and then Frost Nova, Frost Trap, anything else.
Hold on that enter.
Which warlocks have improved him?
So usually he does a frontal cone of Sandblast after popping up. Does not happen immediately, so there's time for positioning shortly after resurfacing. Try to avoid that if you're not the main tank. Don't stay over the dirt mound as it hits multiple times. It usually hits until you die. We need to group into 3 groups, spread within 120 degrees. And healers have to be max all the way in the back so they don't eat the Sandblast. Can do up to 4 or 5k damage.
Another guide is saying don't worry about the nature resist.
Yeah, don't wear NR. You don't need NR for it.
Okay.
Let's just give it a shot. It's,
yeah. Let's get ready.
With your pots though, you have greater nature resistant pots. I hope take them.
Alright, we got all the buffs up. Everyone get ready. So Pro, Rage, Qualian, Exacerbate, we're all trying to tank this. And everyone has, quick repairs. And everyone has to ignore the ads. We have to get all the fears out. We have a lot of Warlocks, Priests, Warriors if we have to. And after that, Mages can step in with Frost Novas, and Hunters can trap. But we just have to manage the bugs. Like, everyone has to CC them constantly. And don't be in front of the boss. So you have to spread out into 3 different groups, but obviously in the back side of the boss. Tank should be the only thing facing in front of him. And move around when he submerges. Right, everyone's ready? Let's go ahead and step up into the doorway.
Like you still need to raid invite when you come to groups.
If you'll notice, there's a little rock pile on the ground over there. That's a fingerprint. That's an initiative vote.
Yeah, they're gonna come up like fissures. There'll be long chains, so you can't walk over them after they've already went past you either.
The tanks are marked, just so... I just did random marks on the tanks so you guys know where they are. We're all trying to get threat at all times when a rope pops up. But once one of us does, let's settle in. Actually, but you keep obviously fighting for it, because it's a threat reduction on the abilities, or a wipe. Alright, everyone's ready to go?
No, I'm not even ready yet.
Are you up here? Do you need a summon?
I'm not yet.
Okay. Alright, we ready to go? Last call. Let's pull in about 10 seconds. We have time for a couple attempts on him. Alright. Pulling in 5 seconds. Everyone mount up and get in the doorway if you're ready, please. Step into the doorway, the actual texture change on the floor, so I know that you're ready. Baikonur, Avrona, Shmusby, Dinaglen. Alright, we're ready to go. Pulling in 3, 2, 1, going. Stay behind the tanks.
Where's the boss?
It's right there.
My fucking client just froze. There it is. It's on Pro. I'm facing him away. So do not... I'm moving him away, and tanks can... I'm going to hold position now. So adjust, yeah. cannot be in front of him. And he shift to Schmoosby, move over to where Pro is. I'm spinning. So I guess maybe the other tanks need to also be in my position. There's a knockback.
Melee too far.
Rage. He's gonna hit a lot of other people with you. Yeah.
So we all stay in.
So yeah, the tanks should stack, I think. All 4 stack and face the same direction, but the AoE knockback is gonna be difficult to deal with. I cannot. It doesn't look like you can taunt.
Oh man, he killed me through shield wall.
Wow.
Alright, separate.
We can do.
Oh baby, he's burning me down, and I'm trying to run away, and I can't run away fast enough. Jesus. You gotta change direction sometimes, I guess, and just gamble. That hurts.
See how it goes in here.
5 seconds on a merge. Get a tank on it as quick as you can. Alright, CC, fear. Fear the bugs. And just face him away.
Are melee supposed to run out for the sweep?
I'm not sure. Feels like it.
No,
maybe.
yes.
No, you
yes.
just have what?
It knocks you back. Anyways.
We're not dealing with the bugs properly either. They're eating a bunch of our people. We might need to group up more, like with the range group, stay tighter in that phase, and then like you can dodge this as a group.
He does a super sweep at a minute and a half. You can counter it by having as many bleed people in the area as possible.
See how the bugs do spawn there. Literally
Yeah.
just look at the rocks and don't run by them.
Well,
I'm just testing the damage. It does like 1200 tanks. Be fine.
My man.
Even if a tank can AoE taunt kite, there we go. Great.
Thank you, Rico.
It's really. It seems pretty squirrely. Yeah, regardless of what we do.
Yeah, this seems ridiculous, man.
I don't think it seems that bad, honestly.
The bugs have 9k health.
is
So
there
it's
a
not-
reason why we're
it's
all
not that
spread
much.
out so much?
You're not supposed to kill the bugs.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Like,
We should have more people alive to fear them and
Is
CC
it
them.
beneficial to be so spread out because you guys are out of range with a lot of heals?
I don't know why. Yeah, it seems like it'd be easier to deal with the bugs if we tightened up a bit. You just have to stand.
I
Melee
think
have
you
to
need
stand to the side. And if you get aggro, you need to run so where he doesn't face anyone, I believe.
Yeah, when he's submerged, spread when he's up. Group
Is it a cleave or is it just an AoE whirlwind? Like, I'm not sure if there's a cleave mechanic.
Y'all should watch the video I posted, because you're supposed to group up and run in and out of the range.
why don't you say that before we pulled? Yeah, dude.
Hey, Lona, or Laz, will you unban Kel so he can tell me how to do Oro? His brain hurts from watching the stream.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and wipe clean. If you can get out to the doorway and you're a healer, go ahead and do it now. Especially a warlock, try to get out of the room. I don't.
Can't get out. Should you run back?
If you died inside.
Yeah,
run
if
back.
you die inside, do and run back. I'm hoping we get a warlock out and 2 people that can summon. We do have a warlock out. Run out until you drop.
Oh, look at how coordinated
Oh wait,
this video
I thought
is.
Coast was a warlock.
Yep.
Mistake.
Makes it really easy.
Nail's DI'd.
It really doesn't look
Alright, die
that
quick. We got a DI up. Everyone die. Stop running away. Die.
Is this video from this server?
I don't know if we had a
No,
warlock
this
out
is,
here.
This is vanilla.
Okay, yeah. This is definitely different than vanilla.
Alright, we have 12 minutes to maybe kill this guy, so please run back as quick as you can. If you died inside the room, please run back instantly right now.
So we're getting out on sweep.
Looks like it's reset.
From
Alright, let's get everyone rezzed. Summit here. Quick rezzes. Repair bot's still alive. Get a quality attempt in again. Alright.
Clark Kent.
You named
Clark
him.
Kent.
Alright, you guys ready to pull again? Do we have everyone
There's
here?
still so many
Let's
people
finish
here,
the
we didn't
summons.
do any buffs yet.
You said with Loki Group 4? Can you sound like Loki Group 4?
Guys, you shouldn't be waiting on while we're trying to get you in.
Alright, let's get one more solid Uro pull.
So we're gonna stack together then, you're saying, the range, and then the melee's gonna do...
The range I'll clump up to one area, and then the melee's in I'll...
One of them won't come up, who's gonna be on range, who's gonna be on melee?
Fight these markings, circle, you can just stay on me.
Do we need a specific healer to be right next to melee, or...?
So listen, it's nothing too crazy to deal with. Here's the deal. The range, you can have a little bit of spread to you, but you need to be in like 1/4 of the room, all the ranged people, oriented on the boss. And then all the melee, they're up on the boss, but they're at like a 90-degree angle. So if any of them do pull aggro, it's not facing the range. I don't know if that matters or not. He'll do the spins occasionally, and it's going to knock people back, but it's not going to kill anyone. And when you get spun out and knocked back, you may be low, but just don't run right back in right away or something, and you'll get heals as we reapproach. You just get knocked back to the side, so heals can still reach you. And then the tanks are facing him off to the side again. So range, you can be like, so the tank and the melee are going to be at a 90-degree angle to all the casters and ranged people. And so the tank will be on one side, and all the other melee will be on the opposite side. And then 90-degree angle from the tank and the melee for all the ranged on one side. Makes it easier to deal with fearing all the ads. So let's just get ready to get an attempt in. Try to avoid deaths.
Okay, let's do it.
We're gonna mount up and run in like savages.
Yeah, let's be savages. So basically, I'm gonna run in, grab him, and point him away from where we ran in as fast as I can. Melee, you can run up to him and just be on his ass basically. You don't have to reorient. And then ranged, you guys can all run in kind of to the left and clump up over to the left. And so I'm gonna run in and tank him like as if he spawned right now. I'm gonna flip him around. I'm gonna tank him behind where he's standing, and then the melee, you'll run up to him and just fight him right here. And then the range, you'll run over to the left and be at a 90-degree angle to the melee and or the tank. Actually, and because you're all on the left side.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
Well, that's no matter what. I'm fucking tired.
Dude, let's get a motivational
I can't
speech
explain
before we
anymore.
roll this.
We can do this. Hey, we're on the final bosses of AQ40. This is fun.
I was talking about Umkin, by the way.
Alright, let's get Umkin say something. What do we need to do?
Guys, let's say a prayer. I
Alright.
believe in these.
I'd rather Shrews be yelled at.
Shut the fuck up.
Alright, we have 4 minutes.
Everybody bow your head. Dear
Let's
Thunder
do it.
Fury, please bless our armor and our weapons that we may be protected in this battle and we may kill great things to acquire very cool treasures that make me look fucking sweet as fucking Iron Forge.
Pulling in 3 seconds.
ready.
Rage is already pulling. Alright, pulling everyone in. Hey, wait, don't pull yet. Don't pull yet. People are AFK in the tunnel. Mad and Dude are AFK in the tunnel. Alright, it's too late.
Stop.
It's got a very tiny aggro radius, luckily. Mad's AFK in the tunnel.
We're so lucky.
He's busy praying, bro. Give him some time.
Alright, we're not going to give him that much time. Alright, Mad's
We can
back.
do without him.
Alright.
We don't need him here. Come on.
Alright, pulling in 3, 2, 1. Pulling now. So all the tanks come stack on pro over here on square. I think, or actually anywhere over here on this side basically. Not where melee are and not where the ranged are.
Go range, we have to get better on this side. We're still like really far out.
And not all of us will eat the sandblast. And
You go closer to it.
yeah, that's better. So range, you can tighten up a little bit. Get ready for after the submerge. So range also shouldn't eat the knockback. Yeah, and Qualian, I'd say come over to where pro is.
Get by Fikey on Conduct, guys.
Qualian, hey Qualian, come over to where pro is. Qualian, and exacerbate. You guys move over to where pro and rage were tanking, because like I still think you want to face him away. So like we need to spread out at an angle where if he shifts to any of us, it's not going to be facing melee or ranged. Alright, avoid it. Only 2 deaths. We're doing good. Spread.
I would say try to res coast or rehab.
So tanks, if you're marked, spread out. You guys need to be spread ready to go. I don't know why Fikey's marked.
Don't
Let me
go
get.
too far to where you're not going to be able to get back to your position, so try to stay on this part of the room.
3 seconds until a remote. 3 seconds. Alright, fear for the bugs. Get on him. Try to regroup as ranged. So you guys all kind of gotta have to group up to handle these bugs. I'm gonna get on it. Pro's got it. I'm tanked, so like I'm gonna get knocked back against this wall. It's pretty easy placement. Sandblast. Sweep coming. Keep big kills on pro. Keep fearing the ads. It's on Verona. Teen, what up? Yeah, fuck. Maybe I need a little bit more hit here. I'm wearing like a Cro-Mag set. I feel like I have no rage.
Is there a melee that can come try to get some of these off or these guys?
Sweep in 5 seconds.
Maybe drop a fear bomb on the range.
Yeah, we just have to be better. We have to be better CCing them. So
Bro, was that aggro or was that the knockback when me and Dean just died?
After you drop this fear bomb, you can run back over.
I'm not sure. We need to set main target too.
Keeping your
Spread.
Be
Keep
red.
fighting him.
Alright, you get the
Spread
battle
out.
race? I'm gonna battle race Pike Nara once this phase up.
Range, remember to stack back on nipple.
This boss is scary.
Still 7 seconds or so. Keep running. 3 seconds. Emerging.
Alright, get ready to stack back up. Fear bombs.
I can't charge him. Oh, there we go. Now I can.
Rage up.
Coming right.
So yeah, every time he comes back up, however the tanks orient him, you guys need to group up accordingly. So it's just, we're not doing a range, have to group up better, and CC adds
Range,
faster.
stack up on nipple.
Yeah, so this isn't as controlled as it should be. I guess we have to, because of all the tanks, we're not being disciplined on threat, which I think is a mistake here. We just lost Quellion and I after that submerge.
So you tanks standing on different positions, different sides of him is an issue.
Well, I don't think it matters. Yeah, I'm not sure if there's a
It
cone.
matters for the healers. If we max range you on one side, but
Sure.
the tank that has aggro's on the other side,
Yeah, I
we
told
have to stand in range.
people to stack on me. I'm not sure if that
Yeah,
changes a
all tanks should be
lot, but
stacking on each other.
yeah, because I've been standing next to someone who doesn't get the knockback, and I do on a whirlwind. One thing I think we have to improve is DPS. You have to stay under the tanks, and it's gonna get squirrely. So I think this is a pacing fight because
I was just talking to a team. Sorry to interrupt. I was just talking to a team about that, and I think it's just when the knockback happens, you can miss and dodge it. So if you don't get knocked back, but the tanks do, he instantly comes straight at you.
Oh, yeah.
Melee deck.
hmm
So I guess when he does the knockback, you have to stop the damage.
back away or something, or if you're a
Yeah.
DPS.
If you don't get knocked back, then move away really quick.
Yeah.
Is there a reason ranging casters aren't standing max range from the boss?
We have to be close enough to get the range with the main thing, but positioning spinning off on us.
Yeah, really, it's like I can heal Pro Blazer great, dude, and I can't heal Rage at all, so I'm running up to heal Rage.
Yeah, that's why the tanks need to be stacked on each other, and you should make a point to always stand like south of him or east of him. Like, as long as we know what position of the boss you're going to be standing,
Well,
we
'cause
can
what's
max
happening
range
is-
accordingly.
Yeah, you guys are getting knocked back, and then you're like really fucking far away.
Maybe we should have a caster DPS or range DPS be the stack target instead of a healer then.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Either way though, like I think we're like surviving through now the mechanics. I think we just need to get more attacks, but that was great.
We got 20% more off the boss, so I don't think it'll take us that many more attempts to get it down.
There's an enrage mechanic at the end, but yeah,
What's
won't be
the
too bad.
range? 20%?
Sick arrow progression.
20%.
decent
Yeah,
Cthulhu,
it's
decent
just
progression.
If all
double
tanks,
damage and attack speed.
If all tanks make a point to stack on top of each other, and you always make a point to stand on a certain direction of the boss, we can always max range you and stay out of it. So if you're always on the east side of the boss, so wherever he comes up, if you make sure to rotate east to the east side of him, it's a lot easier for you to rotate, a couple of feet to get on the other side than it is for the healers and range to rotate all the way around to the other side.
The other thing is, it's a lot easier for a couple tanks to move around the boss than it is for the remaining the 30 people standing in range to try to run around the boss to get
And restacking the ranged and healers restacking is extremely important. Like you spread obviously when he's underground, but restacking once he comes back up to make sure we're CCing everything properly is huge.
Yeah, it's restacking isn't the issue, but it's then trying to, max range from you and still be within healing range. For
Yeah,
everyone else.
I think we just need to mark where we stack, honestly, for the healers and shit, and then we don't even have to have the tanks marked necessarily, but we could.
So, I mean, if we're all stacked, that means we can just set up a beer bomb rotation, and
Yeah.
ads would never be a problem.
Exactly.
Mhm.
That's a
So
simple
because we're not
fix.
stacking, they're running everywhere and mixing up, and
Yep.
it's crazy.
Hey guys, we're calling it because it's past 12. Just do me a favor.
Also,
and,
we've seen every boss in here except for this guy.
Yeah, just do me a favor. Watch the Ruro fight, Cocoon fight, and Viscidus fight on your free time. It should take like 10 or 15 minutes.
Yeah, and if we can swing it on Sunday, I'm down to get attempts on any one of these bosses. There's no trash, so that would be fun. But it's important we get BWL and at least some of MCN. But I need Rag, so
Monday or Tuesday. Like, I think next week.
it's hard. Yeah, I mean, I can't keep that up. So like, I'm really hoping soon, in the next couple weeks, we get this down to a three night deal for all current content. We're close. We learned a lot tonight, so.
GG.
We got down the track.
Everybody type 1 in guild if you want to play League of Legends.
Which is always nice.
Me.
Master and refresh.
Me, KJT, Roopkin, and
I think Gorky's just being a fucking Gorky.
what?
It's just Jiraki, dude. He tries to, like, I don't know, like, bother me, but he's, like, doesn't really God. There's nothing.
Have a good night.
Yeah, later, boys.
Dude, you can't bother a god.
Good night.
Good night, Edgeworth.
Good job, everybody. You know, it's not exactly how I pictured the night going, but could have been worse.
How did you picture the night going? Just curious.
I pictured me
One shot
fucking-
kill killed up.
No, I'm pretty sure just wiping out the food a little bit and getting down the mechanics, and then him like laser beaming, like he's like at like fucking almost 1%, dude. He's like fucking 400 to 600 health left, and then he laser beam kills everyone. I'm still alive. Fought my god form, Moonfire spam, kill him, get fat loot, dip out, and then fucking go to bed.
Guys, guess what? Guess what?
What?
What? Hammer?
Hey. Yeah, we just called it. We just want to end the raid on time, but we might be able to get back in here on Sunday if we're lucky.
And I joined the channel, but it's 5 seconds after you guys pulled.
Yeah, we knew we were just gonna try and get one more in before the night was over, so.
I mean, I can still tell you those.
Yeah, go ahead.
Next week, you guys know how to do it.
I would love the recommendation.
Basically, how we do it in Scuba Cops, it works really well, but you have one tank that stays in the fight the whole time. The other two, or you guys might have 3 tanks because you have
Mhm.
Druid, but yeah, just one tank stays in and the other tanks stay out, and when the tank that's currently in gets knocked back, another tank calls out and says they're gonna intercept in, then you get knocked back, sweep, and then the other tank that intercepts in takes over, and just have to just keep the boss faced away from the raid the whole fight. And then for melee, they just stand to the side of him, and the current tank just calls out when you get sandblast, because it puts like the puts a debuff on you, and you just lose aggro that's on you, and it'll just instantly switch to melee and probably 1 or 2 shot him. So you just call out when that's on you and when it falls off, and when it's on you, melee stay out, and when it's off you, melee go in. So like every 5 to like 8 seconds, melee rotate in and out, and then they'll never get hit, and the boss will never switch on a melee, which means the boss will never face the raid and sandblast the raid on accident.
Okay,
And then
that's
casters
fucking
and
perfect.
healers just spread out. Before 20%, when he enrages, casters and healers kind of spread out. And then when he enrages, casters and healers want to make like a huge circle around him, just not in front of him. When he submerges, though, there'll be those rumbles that happens during the middle
Yeah.
of the fight. Like it'll just
They happen
the
at
whole
the
time
end, even while
after
he's
he
up.
enrages.
Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah. And they'll just randomly follow someone. That's why you want everyone spread out and
I see.
just let people know to pay attention who they're following, and then you just have them run away from people. I mean, it's pretty stupid if you drag them through the raid. You just
Yeah.
instantly kill people because they do even more damage during that phase. And then when the bugs spawn, or when he submerges, you want to force a submerge every 20 to 30%. And the way you do that is just like every 20-30% health he loses. Let a sandblast go off before you do it, so you don't accidentally sandblast the raid. But then just have all melee and tanks get out of range of him, and he'll submerge himself. And that makes it to where I saw it happen to you on your stream, where you submerged and you instantly died because rumble spawned right on you. And if you do it that way, no tank or melee should die as he submerges.
Okay.
And then just when he submerges, just everyone run around and pop protection pots, so it'll help.
So you intentionally cause a submerge every 20-30%?
Yeah, every 20 to 30% you intentionally cause a submerge, because it'll make it how I said, like no melee or tank will just instantly get gibbed if he submerges normally.
And then is it just free for all fear, final 30% on all the little bugs? Is everyone just on their own for managing it? Because you're not stacked anymore?
Yeah, just pretty much just focus the boss, and like you'll have warriors and rogues get on like crippling poison. Well, not really rogue, be more warriors, just hamstring and Nova, just anything to get the bugs off people. You don't kill them during that phase; it's a waste of time.
Yeah.
He does so much damage. You just need to burst him down.
So the tanks that are rotating in, are they all trying to build throughout the whole time, and then just taking turns intercepting back after the knockback, or do they stand out of range and only run in whenever the knockback
You just do it in a
occurs?
certain order. So let's say like you're in
Yeah,
first.
like I'll blow first
then you
intercept, and then
Yeah, like, let's say you're in first, then you'll get knocked out, and then let's say Rage Mo will call out, I'm intercepting it. Just make sure it immediately gets faced away again.
No, I
and
knew
he gets knocked out, and then he
My-
Colin's your other tank. Then
Yeah,
you
yeah,
go in,
no, my
and
question-
You just rotate back and forth.
My question was, will Rage Mob be in before he rotates in, and will he eat the knockback and then intercept, or does he stand out of range of the knockback and intercept in as soon as
He
he's
just
in?
stands out of range of the
Okay,
knockback.
yeah,
and then
yeah.
when you get knocked back, the second tank goes in, and then the second tank gets knocked back, then the third.
Okay, that makes sense. And then by then I have intercept again, and then we just, cool.
Yeah.
And then what's the mechanic? Oh, so it's the sandblast that you're facing him away from everybody for. And then he, in terms of the threat mechanics, he always shifts to whoever's within melee range of him, I guess, when he comes back up from submerging. So that's how the tanks get on. And then the whirlwind, is that a reset of everything? So he's not tauntable, is he?
No.
Yeah, so it's
But
just the tanks. Yeah.
If a tank goes in, just like immediately, like when you guys rotate, tank goes in and immediately just shield slams. You'll get aggro.
I gotcha. Yeah, sure.
And then the only way, like I said, melee will ever get aggro is if they're fucking up, going in and out. Which, like I said, the current tank just has to call out when sandblast is on them and when it falls off, so melee know to rotate in and out. It'd be like
That makes
5 to 8
sense.
seconds.
Right,
and
that's
melee
smooth.
want to attack from the farthest away they can of his hitbox, like right on the edge. He has a huge hitbox. Tanks can do that too if they want, but and then the last thing is when he submerges, when you force a submerge, if no rumbles are around people, tell them to collapse in the center of the room. Just like you still want to be spread out when he reemerges. Just you want to be stacked kind of in the center. And then a tank just has to immediately get on him and face him away, because he usually sandblasts right when he reemerges. You don't want the whole raid to eat that. Probably be a wipe.
Okay.
And then with the bugs, you just have everyone stack them up and AoE him down, including melee, and then get back on. And when he reemerges, it's just on a random person. It can be caster, healer, tank, whoever. And that's pretty much the whole fight. and it makes it a lot easier that way, especially with the tanks rotating and melee not getting give because of it.
Yeah, no, that sounds pretty smooth. I had a question about the Seathun entrance because we wiped a bunch of times just trying to get into the room tonight.
Yeah.
So what we've come up with now is, Laz has Nature Resist gear on as a hunter. I know it can be a tank, but we're doing it with Laz as a Nature Resist cap. He runs in first, and he eats the first. He's mounted. He eats the first lightning. As soon as that animation goes off, everyone starts running into the room. Has one big blob, but Laz continues running at Seathun and eats the second lightning. And then by then, you watch target of target to see who Seathun switches to. That person doesn't run into the room and instead runs back or far away from everybody else. Maintains the 8-10 yards thing. And then by then, you have everyone settling into their spots.
Yeah, that's kind of how we do it. Except we have our main tank do it, which he can easily stand the damage. It's not much, but what he does is we just have 4 groups on each side of the door, and you just have everyone target in, so you know who he's targeting when he casts a beam as you run in. And our tank, Fabulous, he takes the first 2 beams where he just peeks around the door, gets the first one cast on him, and then the second one gets cast on him. And as you see that second beam getting cast, everyone, like right when the cast starts, everyone runs in on each side, and you run straight in towards the outer edge of the black void around noon. And then whenever that third beam targets whoever it is, they run, just immediately get the fuck away from everyone else and run to the side of the room, so you don't chain beam.
Yeah.
And then everyone spreads out their spot.
Okay, so you guys actually don't enter the room until the second lightning has gone off.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought we were doing, and then it got changed last second, and we shifted strategies. So basically, everyone stacks, and we did odd groups left, even groups right, and we have everyone assigned to the 5-man squad they go to. And so
you also want to rearrange all the groups.
Yeah, we did.
You just have all the casters and healers drop, and then you switch all the melee into group.
Spread them out.
You only want 8 melee on Seathun, and if you have any more than that, the other ones are just like sitting there not doing anything.
Yeah.
You just kill tentacles if they spawn next to them.
And the melee that are on
phase 2.
The melee that are on Seathun, they just switch to the small eyes when they pop up, and then back to Seathun, right? In phase 1.
Yeah, there should be like
they ate the spawn.
How it works is if you do it correctly, I can send you pictures. There's 8 groups to rotate around.
I've seen it.
the
Yeah.
spot.
We have that set up.
And,
we have all that in place.
The melee that are on the eye, like, I mean, casters can hit it too, but melee can handle it fine. The melee that are on the eye just kill the small eye that spawns right behind their spot.
Then back to the big eye. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then any
risk a chain beam.
Yeah, and any redundant melee in that group, just focus the other shit and don't worry about it.
Yeah, and then the melee that aren't on the eye, because you only can have 8 on the eye, so I risk chain beams, will handle any of the claw tentacles. Same with the range that spawn just anywhere away from
And is that same for phase 2? So you don't want to have any tanks, obviously. It's just big melee DPS. And in phase 2, do they also stay home and either... Because Seathun's in Vuln, so do they kill the small eyes that spawn, and then do they shift to the big ones, and then they're quick to go back to the small ones?
Yeah, in phase 2, right when the eye dies, you want everyone to collapse towards the front of the room where you first run in at the steps, and then I don't think it's random. I think all the time it's the huge claw tentacle will spawn. You want pretty much everyone to get on that and kill it as fast as you can, because the big eye tentacle will spawn 15 seconds later.
And they alternate.
That big claw tentacle down, you get back to your original positions that you started in phase 1, and pretty much do the same thing, just spread out again. And then when the big eye beams spawn, that's what's gonna do the chain beams in phase 2.
Yeah.
And people that are in that square are the ones that kill it, and you want melee to get on it and interrupt the beam.
So you said in that square, like in that zone?
Yeah,
Because
like
it's
how the
8 groups.
Like
Yeah.
That are in that zone.
So you 5-man it?
Yeah, you can 5-man it, but if people are close enough, and like the 2 zones next to that one.
Yeah.
They can go in real fast
Okay.
and then go back to
Like
where they were.
like Prophet kind of. Okay. Now in phase 2, Cthun doesn't do the chain lightning. Only the big eye that does.
Yeah, it's just the big eye.
Okay, and you can interrupt
it.
and stun and shit. All right, good. I had a question
I don't,
about
I
that
don't
part.
think you can stun, but you can interrupt.
Okay. The small ones I was able to use
Yeah, you
concussion
can
blow.
interrupt the small one and stun as well.
All right, cool.
You still want the small eye tentacles on priority in phase 2, even if a big one's up. But,
Okay.
in phase 2 with the little claw tentacles, them can just be ignored if small eye tentacles or big ones are up.
Cool. So yeah, I
And
think
then,
we had most of the Cthun stuff in place, but entering the room we weren't prepared for, and that was a wake up.
And then, you guys know how the stomach works, right?
Yeah, so basically, you know, don't let people get past 4 or 5 stacks when they're in there. So use good judgment when you need to leave. Stand on an island, DPS the tentacles down one at a time. As the second tentacle, the last one remaining, is about to die, coordinate with everyone outside everyone on the outside with killing one of the last big claws. And as soon as a claw on the outside dies, kill the inside tentacle and move into the vulnerability phase for 45 seconds.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
And then a claw will spawn as soon as he comes out of being vulnerable. Yeah, so I explained that part pretty well. We struggled to getting into the room. We got better a couple times after getting in the room, getting in places and staying spread properly. We were trying to run into the room after the first chain lightning, immediately after.
Yeah, we wait for the second, like I said, and we have our main tank do it.
So does he just step right outside into the opening, or does he run towards the eye?
He just steps right outside and like right in the doorway, and he doesn't run back like where
So you
everyone
can
else
still
is
heal
at.
him?
He sits in the doorway. Well, the first beam he just runs out like 1 yard
Yeah.
over, sits in the doorway, cast goes off, and it won't hit anyone else. He's far enough away, like he's in the green zone.
Mhm.
And then that second beam, as soon as you see that casted on him, the tank runs back around where everyone else is, and then everyone else runs into the room. And by the time the cast is off, no one will be near him for that second beam, so he won't get chained. And then based on the third chain, you just pay
whoever
attention to
gets-
who gets target, and they run to the edge, and then everyone goes into their own zone.
That makes perfect sense. Okay, so that's how the second one works. And it's based off, the tank's the only one that's even on the boss's table, right? Because everyone else is so far away that out of line of sight
no
and
one else
hasn't
will
entered
get
it.
beamed anyways, because if you have the Seaton the Warner on,
Yeah, you're eight.
the first beam, the tank's out far enough from the doorway where he's in the green zone, so it wouldn't matter if anyone else wasn't engaged.
And so after the tank starts the fight, it's not going to aggro anyone who's off to the sides out of line of sight, as long as they're 10 feet away from the tank and they didn't get chained by that lightning. So it's going to go to the tank again, but everyone's...
Yeah, it'll go to the tank
so
again for the second beam.
Yeah, so do you still run in, right as soon as the animation goes off on the tank, do you run in, or do you wait? Like, how long will the target of targets shift after
as
the...
soon as you see that the first beam animation go
Yeah.
off on the tank, the groups on both sides, like everyone just immediately runs in towards
I
the
see.
void zone, and then that other tank runs back behind where everyone else was, and then no one will get hit by the first or second beam, and then the third beam, whoever gets it just gets over to the wall, and then you spread out, and then just have everyone stay in the green. And you can have it stacked with like 2 people if you have like health consumables, sometimes 3, but anything more than that is gonna kill people.
Yeah.
It doubles damage each extra person.
Yeah, yep. Cool. Well, yeah, I think now it's just about repetition. We know how to kind of do the basic strats, the general mechanics, and hopefully next week we get one of these down. And
Yeah, I would honestly say Oro is probably harder than Stun. The only thing Stun is just getting in the room and then staying spread. Other than that, it's pretty easy. It's just a control fight and then burst fight when he's
yeah. Cool. Well, hey, thanks for the help. Yeah, we're gonna do a raid Sunday, but it's probably gonna be MCBWL, and then if we're lucky, we'll get into AQ. We have Vicidius, Oro, and Sethan up. No trash left.
And have you guys attempted Sidious yet?
No, we haven't even seen them yet. We have most of the melee weapons ready, so.
Yeah, I mean, a really easy way to do that fight where you can end it in like one rotation is, I'm sure you guys have a lot of engineers, but have every engineer in your guild get Goblin Sapper charges, and as soon as all the ads are pretty much almost to the point where they're gonna re-emerge back to the big blob again, everyone just pops their sappers and like mages pop blast wave or arcane explosion, and they should all die, and he should just be dead in that like first 30 seconds. And
nice.
If you're unlucky, he'll still have like 5 to 10% health left. You probably have a few people die if that happens, but it's easy to recover from. Just make sure you stay out of the poison clouds.
So you wait until they've almost all reapproached him, so that way they're in range of the AoEs when they go off.
Yeah, you just wait till they're almost to the point of
like 5 feet or something, or 10 feet.
Yeah. Yeah, really about that. 5 feet or something. And then everyone just pop their Goblin Sapper charges, blast wave, arcane explosions, whatever you have in AoE. And they only have like 4,000 health, so especially if you have enough people with Goblin Sappers, they should all die immediately, except maybe you'd be unlucky and have like 1 to 3 survive, and then they'll have anywhere from like 3 to 10% health left.
Nice.
You just finish the fight up.
So on Oro, basically tank rotations stay out, and main tank calls out when he has the debuff on him, and that means melee is not in. When he doesn't have the debuff, melee can be in. You face him away to control who the sandblast hits. When he does his whirlwind, if the tank gets knocked away, then the next tank in line intercepts, faces him away, and melee just run back, get back in position. Range, stay clumped at the beginning, right? And AoE fear and everything. Does range stay in clump matter that much? Like, we were going to do fear rotations on the warlocks.
No. We have our range healers spread out a little bit when he's not submerged.
Okay.
But not completely. But then after 20%, they just like spread the fuck out, like within like 3 yards of each other minimum.
Yeah.
So you don't accidentally drag rumbles over each other. They'll follow in tanks, melee, healer, caster, whatever. So just to make sure that the person who they're following run the rumbles away from the raid. They'll constantly switch who they're following every 5 to 10 seconds.
That makes sense. Cool, man. Well, hey, that's a huge help. Thank you for the guidance.
No
yeah, I'm excited.
I see you guys wipe all night.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of expected it, so we enjoy some of that figuring it out on our own, but it's going to be nice actually knowing what we're doing now and all the mechanics.
Yeah, I mean, even Scuba Cap has some trouble with Oro. Like, I think this week we had like 4 failed attempts before we finally killed him.
Yeah.
I think he is probably harder than Sun.
Cool. Well, I'm going to share some of this.
20%.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to share some of this knowledge with the group. I'll drag you up there too.
Alright.
Dude, we're like waiting on you, Vaughn.
It's gonna be ETA 45 minutes.
Hey, so Kale just gave me some good insight to Scuba Cop strats and what we can improve on Oro as well as Sethan. So a couple of notes to take away as we think about next week. On the approach into Sethan, you do have the Soaker eat 2 of the bolts, the lightnings. So the way that mechanic works is the first, they do their main tank, but basically someone steps into the hallway just like a foot forward and eats the first charge, and he's obviously 8-10 feet away from anybody else, so it doesn't jump. Everyone else is still pressed up against the sides, out of line of sight. Right after the animation of that first charge goes off, target of target should remain on that tank, and so then the tank starts moving back, and then everyone runs past him, and he tries to move back into the hallway and eats the second one. As soon as the second one goes off, as everyone's running into the room, that's when the third person's going to get chosen. So you have to watch target of target the whole time as you enter. And that's when someone who gets chosen has to move away from everybody else, like up against the wall, away from the group, let everyone run into positions. So that's how you manage the lightning on your entrance. So you're still queuing off the first charge to run in, but the tank who eats the first charge, then immediately as the second one's coming at him, because he was the only one for the target of target to choose, you start moving backwards as everyone runs past you.
You don't have to restart, bro.
So anyways, that's one thing on the Seathun that's going to help us. Only 8, like we did, it's only 8 melee that are on Seathun, or the little eyes that pop up. Constant interrupts. Secondary melee, you just stand there and you wait on the other tentacles that shit to spawn, if you're not one of the primaries that are marked. Besides that, we had all the mechanics understood. The Oro fight, we're going to change it up for sure. On Oro, basically, you're going to have all of the tanks, except for the main tank. All the other tanks stand outside of the whirlwind range with the casters, and then
You're such a faggot, bro.
and then there's a priority. There's a priority that the tanks charge in. So after each whirlwind knockback, the other tanks charge in to get aggro one at a time. They burn those, and he'll switch aggro to whoever's in melee range after those whirlwinds. And so the other thing is you face him away from the raid at all times because of the sandblast. And when a tank has sandblast on him, the boss is susceptible to shift to someone else. So whenever the tank has sandblast, he calls it out, and there's no melee in. So all melee run out. Once sandblast is off the tank, melee can run back in. So it's a combination of melee running in and out, depending on if the main tank has sandblast. And when the main tank gets knocked away, the next tank steps up, intercepts in, faces him away from the raid, and does the same thing again. And then besides that, people can stay grouped up and fear the bugs at the beginning. And then when Oro goes underground, obviously you spread, but then start, if you can, start collapsing towards the middle of the room, towards the end when Oro's about to pop up with the tanks outside ready to grab him. And then position accordingly. And then we got Enrage at 20%, which makes it a little bit more difficult, but same mechanic.
Yo, pro, can you unban Ripley?
Yeah.
By the way, I guarantee no one here actually soaked in what you just said.
I know, but it's some tweaks to what we were doing that are pretty
What do you
insightful.
Say, Laz? What do you say there?
Which part do you want to know about Seathun?
Just start.
Or do you want to learn about Oro?
Just beginning from the end. I need a TLDR.
Okay, so I'm gonna get into.
Wait, no, I really don't.
You can still do it on Seathun Laz. I like you
Oh,
as
here we
soaking
go.
it.
Okay, I'm super high right now, so
No,
sorry guys.
dude,
Just
you
took
don't
a hit.
have to. You don't have to. You don't have to.
I was gonna act it out and everything. Nah, but I don't know about that second hit thing. I was fine just running forward at him.
Well-
It's not like anybody was around me, but
Yeah, I guess you're right. That's another way to do it. If you're moving away, then people can run into that position right away and be ready to go. But
yeah. Issue is like if people
The-
do happen to go slow, you're more
yeah, and the tank.
likely to get hit.
Yeah, the tank can soak it too, and then you just make sure the tank soaking it is the tank that runs up into the front of the room like that. But anyways, I mean, the whole second hit thing, it's really what we're already doing, but you just have to rethink the way mechanic works, so, or just understand the way, I should say, sorry. I think a lot of you already knew that.
Practice run at
Yeah.
doing that
I
strat.
think a lot of people didn't get it, so,
We divided up on, oh, we're running in after the second one, oh, we're running
Yeah.
in the first one. We never got to try the first one legitly because people just
so
are stupid.
I think the crucial part of the mechanic is as soon as the animation's going off for the lightning, I think that's when the target of the switch is. So by you being the soaker on the first one, it guarantees you're going to be the next one because it instantly chose you again right after it hit you first, and no one else was even in range of him or like in line of sight, you know.
Yeah.
So that's why it hits you twice. and during that time, everyone's running in to get in the position. So it's the third one people have to be ready to. The whole raid reacts to.
Yep.
So that's an important distinction. I think that once everyone understands, it'll make it easier entering. So it's an interesting idea. Just barely, like they said, their main tank just steps out barely to the side, eats it, and then as everyone's running in, he's running out. Eats the second one by himself, and then at that point, it's going to be a random third. So that's one smooth way to do it, and it doesn't hurt that much for the main tank, but.
What's up, Propster?
You invite me to Discord. You guys are discussing shit.
Yeah, it's top secret tactics, you know.
Scuba cop strats from Kill.
Nobody knows about them.
Why is Galio so sexy?
I don't want to flame in Discord where there's 20 people in here.
Wait, should we do separate channels or different teams?
Sure.
Hey Riplin, will you come back and be a hunter for us?
Hell no. Hell no. Hell no.
Yeah.
Nope. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah. Nah. Probably not.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
alright.
no, baby.
Alright, everyone on Heroes but Racing, drop down to officer. Let me have officer capability.
Come on, stay in the same chat.
Come on.
Yo, Galio.
Alright, I'm off for the night. I'll see you guys later. I'll be on Sunday.
night,
I'm going to be out of touch for a minute because my wife's going to
I
kill
don't know
me.
what to build against this dumbass. Am I a bot? Who's mid?
Hey, are you guys cool if we try to start Sunday a little bit earlier? Can people do that?
Yeah, but make an announcement.
Like,
either today.
think an hour earlier? Is that appropriate?
What the fuck is this? Hello?
What's
Where's
my
my tea, man?